let's go ahead and introduce the teams first, because on the left-hand side, we have Bunker Funtime Academy, Nazebo, Stukov, Tassadar, Varian, Sylvanas. On the side of Beyonce Gnolls in this best of three, we have a Jaina, a Nubarak, Leoric, Rhaegar, and Orphea. Ooh, double mage. Okay, so Tassadar will be going, as I mentioned, into Shock Ray, Static Charge, level 1. Will he finish those 200 stacks by the end of the game? Get your gambles in.
The battle begins in...
Violence is not the answer. Yes, it is. That's the end of it. No, I'm not reading the rest of your message. That's it. That's the end of it. Violence is the answer.
2, 1.
How dare you wish violence against Murlocs, my best friends, cousins, uncles, sisters, brothers, nephews, is 273rd Murloc. Well, all I gotta say to that is old lady dies. Yeah, get your gambles in. How will Tassadar finish? Is there no doubters? Are there no doubters at all? Not a... Oh, are we base racing? As a reminder, if you do not, if there's no thank you. If there's no doubters, and that's the prediction outcome, the points go to Jeff Bezos, and he makes money. And I know you might be sitting there saying, but Bahamut, Twitch channel points don't mean anything realistically in money. Well, to Jeff Bezos it does, because he's a cheating, lying dog. No, that gives dogs a bad name. Sarge, ooh, good damage. Wait, hold on, a Nubarak very low, does go down, but did Sylvanas overextend to try and get that counter kill? It does feel that way. The Spectral Leash does connect, and the healing will not be enough from Stukov at this time. A 1 for 3 in total. Puff Dog might go down here as well, and yes, they will. That is going to be a quadra overall. 4 for 1, that's big for the side of Beyonce Gnolls, as Bunker Funtime Academy needs to kind of reel it back in and start soaking up the experience. You can already see Nazebo in that top lane, spreading the poison around to make sure that the level 1 and the Voodoo Ritual will be scaled out as well. I deserve all the points back from Be Crazy. You deserve them? Why do you deserve them? Hey, War. How you doing, bud? Burrow from a Nubarak, mostly just pushing back the old lady. Such a weird sentence to say. Be Crazy stole them? Can you prove that in a court of law? Can you prove that in the Bahamut Gaming Court of Law? I am judge, jury, and I am bailiff. I'm also the stenographer as well. Galactic, what's up, bud? How's your day going? Am I bribable? Yes. Yes, I am bribable. Pizza, cheeseburgers, tacos. Oh, very bribable. You know, I have to be honest, chat. I've been streaming for almost 2 hours, and we have not gotten on the topic of food yet. You have to say, this is a big step forward for me. Ramsey gets the Wraithwalk out, and he's able to disengage. Looking at a 5950X and another 32 gigs of RAM, if I can snag a good sale before the next gen comes out. Dude, I love my 5950X, and I have 64 gigs of RAM, and I am very, very happy about those two factors. I also have a 3090, so I'm very happy with my computer. I was actually looking at the new 4080s. Like there's like two versions of the 4080 that are coming out, and like they have like wildly different specs or something like that. Like even like the 12 gigabyte version had like better like base clock speeds, but like the 16 gig version had like a better something else, like CUAD core or something like that. The 4000 series is not worth it. No. The 4000 series graphics cards have not seemed worth it from my research either. No. I thought the 40 series hadn't been released yet regarding specs. No, there's a bunch of specs floating around. There's a bunch of specs I was seeing like this morning and yesterday on like Reddit and Twitter and stuff like that. I personally would say buy the 3000 series. The 3000 series is beautiful. I also think there's a lot of really good, like there's a lot of good factors about the 3000 series if you are looking for a new card. But yeah, the 5950X from AMD as a processor, I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, where the donos at? Where the donos at? Look, I'm going on vacation this weekend. I gotta be able to get Taco Bell and Taco Bell and beer. Punisher will be going over to the side of our red team, Beyonce Gnolls, as this will actually it seems kind of like they're gonna leave the Punisher to siege and they'll do their own sieging on the side of Beyonce Gnolls. There's a little too much indecision here coming. A little too much indecision from our red team here. I don't know why they went into mid lane to soak up. It's not like Jaina needed a regeneration globe for level 1. I would have honestly rather seen Leoric do double soak between mid and bottom. He's got the Neil Peasants. He's got his overall cleave. So he's got very good wave clear on his own. I feel like that was a little bit of indecision coming out from the core 4. Like, I feel like they wanted to, like, oh, we're gonna, like, we'll let the Punisher push and then we'll go siege another lane, but that just never happened. It was like rotation mid, camp, and then the Punisher got not even, I mean, it did get most of this tower, but it's just that if I were to be critical of that moment, I would have said, leave the Leoric to double soak, let your core 4 siege. You have an Anubarak. Like, Anubarak spawns beetles. He spawns more things to siege through the lane. You've got a Jaina Orphea who have great, like, range poke and range siege onto structures. You've got the Rhaegar who's got the Storm Shield baseline, so he throws that onto a Beetle or throws that onto a Nubarak who steps up and just, you can spam your abilities. You've also got the W build in Nubarak, so you're going to be able to have the cooldown reduction on your Hardened Carapace, so you can just spam Ws consistently. So I saw someone in chat saying, like, hey, I want advice. I was one of the players in the last game, and they were asking someone else. That's my tidbit right there. If I were to be critical of a moment in this game, that would be it right there. Anyways, back to talking about graphics cards. Big Ring of Frost from Jaina. Huge Eternal Feast to follow up. 1, 2, 3 procs will come through. Sarge gonna try and parry through the pain, but he doesn't have the level 10, so no shield wall if he were to even go into that. Sarge will go down. Puff Dog trying to get the healing. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, if this core 4 would have pushed for the Punisher, I think they could have done exactly what they just did. They could poke, they could lock someone down. Now, granted, I don't think they had 10 talent tiers at the moment, so of course Ring of Frost, Eternal Feast wasn't a combo, but still, you have Chain CC from Anubarak, big burst ability between the Jaina Orphea. So, as I said, that's my critical feedback for at least that moment in the game. We'll continue on right here as we do have 10 talent tiers across the board, so we'll cycle through the other numbers. Want to point out we got a Black Hole from Tassadar, and the Varian did go into Shield Wall, so he doesn't have the Warbringer, which is a 4-second cooldown on his charge. Nazebo and the Leoric doing double soaking here. I'm liking this quite a bit. I like the Leoric picking up the extra soak. Nazebo should be kind of in this double soak priority position because of his level 1 and his baseline. He wants to get to that 100 stacks of the, not Farseer's Blessing, of the, oh my god. Things of the Deep, I think is the name of it. Either way, Entomb from Leoric, there's going to be a Buried Alive, not a Buried Alive, an Eternal Feast, a Ring of Frost. I mean, technically they were buried alive inside that Entomb with the Eternal Feast, as they are cooled down and chomped to bits. That's going to be a triple kill, Orphea popping off right here. Yeah. All I can say is I went from a 1070 to a 3090 for graphics cards, and god damn does it feel good. Like, Heroes of the Storm actually runs at 60 frames most of the time. I remember casting some earlier seasons of CCL when I didn't have my newer computer, and I remember I was casting CCL and I would have, like, team fights would be like 15 frames for me. It wasn't like screen tearing a bunch. It just looked awful. You got a 980 Ti. Yeah, I'd say it's about time to upgrade there, bud. I would very much recommend the 3000 series. I think the 3090 is fantastic. If you want to go budget, there's like the 3060 Ti and stuff like that. If you want like power budget. I think the 3000 series has been really, really good. Hot says horribly CPU. Oh, yeah, it very much is. You linked it in Discord? Thank you, Desert. If you're not on Intel from 2010s, you're running it non-optimally. I don't understand anything about Intel because I was never like a super big Intel guy, so. Wow, this Sorvia player really aggressive right there. Almost goes down, pops the Eternal Feast to try and zone back the Varian, who does taunt the Jaina. Ring of Frost not connecting onto Varian as the Punisher still continues to siege through the bottom lane. 55 stacks for the Tassadar by the buy as the Punisher gets baited towards the core and can't deal any damage to the core since the structure, the keep, is still up and available. Punisher at 15%. Think he'll get 1 to 2 autos. 3, actually. The Arc will be able to split the top lane. We have a camp to be grabbed. Once again, I feel like I wish I would have seen the team siege with the Punisher here. I feel like this double camp grab, it's not as important. It is, yes, it is experience, yes, it is lane pressure. I would have liked to see the push with the Punisher from at least the Anub'arak as well, because as I had mentioned, beetles are really, really useful here. You have a way of summoning units, so consistently doing that is very, very strong for your siege potential. On the opposing side, Tassadar, Varian, and friends, they gotta look for a single target lockdown blow up. Now, with the push through mid, this does open up the opportunity for this bottom lane keep to fall. So even though my criticism, like I have my criticism, they still take down the keep, which is still the right call. I do like what they did here. They split the enemy's attention while the enemy was dealing with mid. They quickly rotate for the keep. Now this will be, since the enemy's missing on map, they're gonna try and poke here, but of course, this is, I like the control, the restraint coming out from the side of Beyonce Gnolls. They were kind of sieging over there, but no one on the enemy's side was really showing on map, so the potential gank could have been in the cards. Won't happen. Wailing Arrow from Sylvanas, a little raw right there. 90-second cooldown. By raw, I mean like there was like it was thrown out. It was a raw Wailing Arrow. There was nothing to follow up. There was no cease. There was like, it wasn't like there was a taunt from Varian with a Nazebo zombie wall or something prepped around it. There wasn't any sort of Stukov lurking arm to maybe get a virulent reaction, because they do have. Oh, actually no, it hungers. Sorry, virulent reaction's now red because they changed the talent color for some reason a while ago. You're not one for budget comps. That's understandable. Oh, Sylvanas face checks the bush. She doesn't even make it into the bush. There's going to be an Entomb from the Leoric, an Eternal Feast as well. That's a Ring of Frost. A lot used. A little overkill, but hey, they get the double, and this should be Fort to fall through the top lane. Next Punisher, Frozen, shall be announced soon as Tassadar is beaming his way through the bottom lane. That is a Cocoon onto Puff Dog, who does get hit with the Impale. Zebo, Zombie Wall, not enough. That's going to be a triple kill. And what else do we get with this? Because as I'd mentioned, that Punisher should be far off from an announcement. Industry hardware standards to always skip at least one generation of whatever, unless you're dealing with it really intense. Oh, okay. I remember like when the 2000 series of graphics cards came out, I had my 1070 and I was like, yeah, I could probably upgrade, but like I don't need to upgrade. And then when the 3000 came out, I was like, I need an upgrade. My 1700X, I think, was the old CPU I had, and my 32 gigs of RAM, which was pretty good. It just needed an upgrade. The RAM was probably fine, but it's like one of those things, like, I was getting a new motherboard, I was getting a new CPU, it's like, we're here, let's just do it. Okay. Or if you're going mostly trait build, as I'm noticing. Also does have a couple of those chomp talents as well. Level 16 talents here, advantage to the side of Beyonce Gnolls as they work on another Punisher, Frozen for the top lane. Bottom lane, Nazebo's still soaking up, 136 stacks for him. A little bit behind on the average timing, but still doing a pretty good job. Has the Things of the Deep done already. We also see the Universal Carrier for the Stukov at level 16. And since there's no way the members of Bunker Fun Time Academy will be able to step towards the core, or step towards the objective, this will be a mid lane push with the Black Arrows of Sylvanas, but we already have Nazebo and Varian backing away. Feels a little disconnected here between the teammates, as we have Tassadar still working on a camp in the bottom lane. I feel like that should have been a little bit of a swap. Like, it should have been Nazebo getting a camp with Tassadar joining the rest of the allies. This will be a triple kill, and the fort falls to about 50% HP, and Leoric will finish out the rest of this objective phase, with the camp already pushing up the top lane, getting some of the keep front gate down over here. Catapult in the top lane. Gonna look really quickly and see what the value damage into structures is. It's 456. Looking over at the Punisher here, he's going to be dealing 186 standard, 372 into structures. Good overall pressure from the members of Beyonce Gnolls. Can they go beyond the keep? Can they go core? Let's find out. Frozen Punisher siege is extremely strong with the lockdown onto structures for, I believe, 2.5 seconds from when the Arcane Explosion happens. And Punisher going to start working on this keep right now. They do have, honestly, a good team fight. They could go past this keep on the side of Beyonce Gnolls and just end the series here. It is 1 game advantage to our red team. There's a Burrow Charge in with the Entomb and the Eternal Feast, which is going to get a couple procs. Amplified, actually, even more of those ticks on the Eternal Feast because the Numbing Blast was keeping the Stuke off, I think it was, in the same place. Punisher with a double jump onto the enemy. Looks like the Rhaegar heals up. There's so many low members, and you can even see the indecision coming out from the members of Beyonce Gnolls. They started to back away, even though Anubarak's dead, yes. They were unsure of that. You already had Leoric moving into mid lane, so the game is not over yet. 20 talents here to the side of our red team. Yeah, Rob Dog, I would say don't do the 40 series and just find like a cheaper 30 series card. Like, I have a 3090 Founder Edition. I love it, man. Did I pay extra for it? Sure. Like, not like scalper extra. I bought it from Best Buy, but it still was expensive because it's Founder Edition and blah, blah, blah. But I love it, man. I absolutely love it. Also, it's a beautiful looking graphics card. I have to be honest. You have a 3080 Ti? Nice. If I do an upgrade, set for a good time, 5950X, 64 gigs of RAM, and your 3080 Ti. Oh, dude, you'd be set for a couple generations for sure. Like, I don't think you'd probably need a new graphics card till probably like the 50 or maybe even the 60 series with that. And then for CPU, I mean, yeah. Big Entomb from Leoric. He's got the Buried Alive. That's going to be a triple kill. That should be game right here, right now. Big slow from Leoric with the, oh, rewind from Anubarak just to close the distance. Orpheus still continuing to do so. Cocoon onto the Varian. It is a quadra kill for the members of for Beyonce Gnolls. Jaina with the damage. There's going to be a root in place. Ring of Frost as well just to solidify the kill.
Team kill.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be map number 2 in our second best of 3 of the day. Going over to the side of Beyonce Gnolls. They take the series 2-0. GG, well played.